Hey guys, welcome back to another video, Life in the Fish Lane. And as you can see, I'm in the fish room, or well, what used to be the fish room. So this room is fully gutted. It's a complete mess. And this room's getting ready to be completely redone. All the drywall's coming out. However, I'm gonna stick back to the fish. I wanna show you guys all the new updates that I have and just give you a complete tour of the fish room. And so yeah, let's get into it. So if I go to the other side of my basement, that's where I moved all my fish room, fish tanks, everything over. So yeah, I'll go ahead and show you all that. All right, so on the other side of my basement, I built this wall just out of 1/2-inch styrofoam insulation board, pretty cheap, a little bit of duct tape, and it actually works out pretty well. So open this up, as you can see, there's the pool, and going further, I shut this door just because I heat the room, not the tanks. So pretty much, here's the pool. If you see this IBC tote, that's a project I'm working in. I'll get into that later in the video. You can see here, I've got some grow lights just to help grow some plants. These pothos plants are taking off. They're great at sucking the nitrates out of your tank. So anyways, here's the 125. And I want to get further in depth into that and show you exactly what's going on. I made some major upgrades to it. This is also now the Stingray tank. I've got both my Stingrays, my marbled Matoro Stingray, my black diamond Stingray. I've got a half-in hybrid Redtail Catfish. And then there also is a Bisher in here. Have not had any issues, no fighting, no anything. I'm not getting along. So everything's been great. So yeah, I will flip it around here so you guys can see better. All right guys, so as you can see, like I said, we got the Bisher, we got the black diamond Stingray, the half-in Redtail Catfish hybrid, and then my marbled Matoro Stingray. So what I'm wanting to show you guys on this tank is the upgrades. So if you can see through here, I'm sorry the glare is pretty bad. I took 2 1/4-inch PVC, took my miter saw and put slots in it, and I built a PVC overflow. So I've got 2 of those on this tank. The other one's on this side, and then the returns in the middle. I just did not spray paint that one black. And then here is a filter that I built, very cheap, very simple. So I've got 150 micron filter socks. Obviously drilled a bunch of holes in the first drawer. There's also a bunch of holes in the second drawer. And this is just completely full of a bunch of biological media. A lot of these ceramic rings came out of FX6. I shut down a lot of my filters just to cut the power consumption because that's my main goal. Sorry, I got Bella here. Say hi, Bella. Bella? She's a sweetheart. So I also put biological media down here in the bottom. And if I can get a good angle, you can see the water comes down, splashes through, which is just helping to dissolve the oxygen. Biological media, if you add oxygen to it, it just will tremendously help out the bugs that are in there that you need. I've got a heater in here. I'm not currently using it. It's just there just in case. I've got my pump in the back. And then I do have a wave maker here that just helps circulate this and add more oxygen. And then I've got everything hooked up on the bottom. I am still running this filter. I don't really know a whole lot about it. It's 660 gallons per minute, which I don't ever recommend going off what they say. I normally slash that. I'm gonna say it's probably doing like 450, 460 gallons. But this is a UV filter. So I do run the UV filter just as a just in case. So yeah, that's pretty much sums it up for this tank. It's a major upgrade, and it runs amazing. It runs great. All the fish, very happy. I do want to throw in some food for you guys to see. When you watch them eat, they kind of go crazy. So I feed the Hikari Massivore Delight, and the Stingrays love it. And pretty much everything in my fish room is now eating the same food. but I absolutely love these guys. Again, I'm sorry for the glare. I know it's not the best, but I wanted to get something out for you guys. I'll get a lot of this figured out in due time. So moving on to my 1,000-gallon pool. Redtail Catfish, he's gotten huge. He's in here. And the Arapaima is also in here. He's getting big as well. You're not really going to be able to see him too well. I should have cut the filter off, but you can kind of see a little bit of him. With that being said, I'm going to talk more about this pool. So I have an air stone here, and that's just going to these 3 extra large sponge filters. I've had these sponge filters for a while, so I really only have them in here just to keep them circulating, keep the biological media alive. All this, I'm going to say a mess of, it looks like a mess, but it's a mess of biological media. So the same thing I showed you in the filter on the Stingray tank. It's just a bunch of biological media. I'm keeping it there, having it cycled. That way I can have it at hand if I need it to start, a new tank. So that's why I have that. I am running a sand filter on this pool. However, I am not using sand inside this filter. Inside here is all of those ceramic biological media, those squares, 6.1 inches long, roughly. That's all in this filter. And I will say I was running sand in here before, and I am getting so much more flow out of doing it out of the biological media. Obviously, it's because there's a lot more open space for the water to move, because water flows in the path of least resistance. I also have another aerator here. This one's bigger. It's just running some air stones, keeping this heavily oxygenated. I also, like I showed you, I've got my pothos plants, and they're pretty much taken over, running around the pool. I like them. I think they look good. Same on here. Pothos plants. This cutting I took off of that main plant, and it's taking over in the Stingray tank. Here's a FX6 I've got. It is still running the stock foam, coarse foam that's around the outside. On the inside, there's 3 trays, and it's just got polyester quilt batting in there. Not a whole lot, so it doesn't restrict the flow too much. I'm mainly using the FX6 to polish this water, just to get the bigger debris and to get all that waste out of the system. And moving on, I wanted to show you this. This is my next big project that I'm working on. This will be a filter for this pool. I'm waiting on getting a pump. However, you can kind of see what's going on. That we'll go over the lip of this pool and we'll filter this pool. But what I have planned is pretty unique. So far I've siliconed down the air stones. I've got 8 of them, and that's what I've got this air pump for, will be for this. So I do have this tote. It's a 27-gallon tote. I'm not sure if it'll stay, I'll leave it here or not. I do have the lid and everything for it, but my goal is to fill this with different coarse foam filter pads, starting out on the bottom, and as I work my way up, probably do quilt batting on top, so that way this is going to be my mechanical filtration. And then in here I'm planning on getting K1 biological media and just having a complete moving bed of K1 media. I'm going to get 6 cubic feet. That's about what, doing the math, that's about what it's rated for, especially for the pool. And then up on here, on top of this, I'm going to put the lid back on, drill some holes, and I'm going to try to grow some plants hydroponically out of it. Do like strawberries, some basil, cilantro. I might even do some pepper plants. And as you can see, I've got another grow light here. I've got one down on that end because my plan is, if you stick with me, I plan on getting another IBC tote and putting it down here, moving this light down. So then that way I can grow more plants on both sides and build a bigger filtration system. So that's the goals for the future. I don't know if we'll get there. However, with that being said, it's kind of a mess, but you can see I got the sink moved over here. Ignore the plumbing. I'm not a plumber. I know that's not professional, but I got no leaks and it works. So obviously with a fish room, you know humidity is always an issue. So I've got a humidifier on this end. I've got this heater here that the heat rises up. This blows it out through the rest of the fish room. And then on this side of the fish room, I also have another humidifier. And I literally have no issues with humidity down here at all. As you can see, I've also got my other helper. He stayed home with me today since I was off. And then here's Macy and Bella. And they're always with me every time I'm down here. So anyways, also, I'm getting ready to do a water change on the pool. So that's why I've got my pool hose out. And this just runs straight into this bathroom, which has a sump pump pit down there. So I run all my water down to there. I do have a sink in here, I just don't use it. I installed dual water valves in there so I could run my water lines here to my sink. So I've got plenty of hot water. And with that being said, guys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you an update, show you all what's going on. So I know everything's a mess right now. It'll be cleaned up in due time. Just give me some time. As you can see, the pool's doing great. All the fish are doing tremendously well. With that being said, I think I've covered everything on this pool. And now what I want to do is I want to show you guys some underwater shots just to give you all something to look at. So if you watched this far in the video, thank you for watching. Please drop a comment. Give me something you think I could change, something that might work better, or you could just comment a like, a heart, whatever. So anyways, I'll start doing some underwater shots so you can see the fish and see how big they've gotten.